No picture? No problem. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're returning to the Sony F30. You may remember we went through this and sorted out, I can't remember what the issue was now, but we got it sort of functioning, and we did some overhauling as well. I think we did the upper drum, some power supply bits and pieces, but we left it with it not actually displaying a picture. So everything works mechanically, but we have no picture at all, nothing at all. I don't believe it's heads. I think it's something in the signal processing somewhere. So let's crack on. I am actually using a different camera, so I say camera. You can put in the comments what you think I might be using, but it's really cool. Yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so let's eject the cassette, remove the zappy toy, and let's take the power off it, move the sockets. Now, the first thing I think I'm going to do is take the covers off, which I know sounds really obvious. Okay, so there's something nagging in the back of my mind with these machines, and it is something to do with a capacitor going short. I don't know, is it that one? Some of these capacitors have very long legs, but yeah, that's slightly odd. Yeah, and sort of taking out the power rail to the signal board. But I suppose the next thing I ought to do is get the circuit diagram and just see what voltages we have, to see if the board is indeed being powered. Before I go any further, there's just one thing I want to check, because I've just noticed something. And this might sound daft, but the test signal switch is on, and I don't know if these have the same issue as with C9s. With a C9, if you've left the test signal switch on, you get no AV out. So I'm just going to test that. Should be happy enough. Yeah, so that makes a difference. I do think, oh, it's very crunchy. I do think it was just a C9 thing, but actually, what is on? Which way is on? Yeah, so it was off. That's cool. Just thought I'd check. Yeah, so I don't know why I think that cap, I keep sort of leaning into this cap being dodgy. But you know, it's all looking good, and no breaks in the print either, which is fantastic. These do really suffer in transit if you're not careful. I've even had these boards broken where they've had enough of a whack from the bottom. It goes through the the black peg there and straight through to that peg, and you get all sorts of horrible things going on. Yeah, I suppose we ought to sort of see what's going on signal wise. Okay, so we're looking at connector 003, which is this one here. You can see behind there's one of the semiconductor style fuses. So we've got 12 volts there, 9 volts ish there. So I'm wondering if we've actually got anything on the other side of that fuse. Now, I seem to remember if this fuse does go, I could be thinking of the C9. Yeah, I'm thinking of the C9. If the fuse goes on the C9 on the signal board, it will cause the servos to run fast, just go haywire. But I don't think that's the case on the F30, so let's check. Okay, so let's check each side of the fuse. We've got 9 volts on the one side, which you can't see. Okay, so let's check the fuse. 9-ish volts there. Yeah, so the semiconductor fuse is fine. So I think we're looking at signal and to see what's going on there. Okay, so it's looking very much like we have a bad head chip. The problem is I don't know if it was me that damaged it or it was damaged before. Let's take the power off before I start fiddling about. So I'm going to take the upper drum off and we'll have a good close look at the head chips. So looking at the head chips, well, they both look okay. This one is fine, and it's a bit grubby, I suppose. But if we look at the other one, it's a strange line on it, and I just wonder if that's a bit of fluff or something. So I'm almost tempted to remove the head disc and soak it overnight, and just see if that does the trick. So yeah, I think I might try that. Okay, so I managed to clean off whatever that was, just like a line or something on the chip. And I didn't show it because it's almost impossible to do it. I had to get so close. But I have done it, put the upper drum back on. I don't hold out much hope. But I'm just going to try it anyway. Let's wind this on a bit. And yeah, it is no better. I don't know what that was. That's really weird. I mean, it's still just, well, no better. It's no better. I will still soak these, I think, and we'll see how we get on. But it's looking very much like I'm going to have to find some F30 heads and just having a look around. There are none. So, yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so iron's warming up. We've got the cassettes. And pull the power. Take off the upper drum again. And actually what I'll do before I do that is I'll actually remove the fan. what I'm doing with the complete wrong bits, but I'm going to get away with it because I have already taken this off. Let's finish taking this off. I mean, it's good to know the chips are good. But obviously one of the chips are down. And I don't know. I'll be around. So carefully lift that off. Yes, so I need the smaller. Oh, where's my small, relatively good quality? Yeah. So that's really tight. Always sort of a bit nerve-wracking doing this, so you don't want to slip with a screwdriver. But it does the trick. Magic. I don't know whether these heads have been off before. They've been off before. That solder is not original. Interesting. Yeah, on the one cable you can actually see where it's been overheated when it's been soldered or desoldered slightly. That's fine, but it's just noteworthy because it is actually interesting to see how much force it takes to get this thing off as well. Oh. Well, it's needing a bit of force to lift that off. Oh, I say that, take that all back, because that's just come straight off. This one, this side is a bit tight. Oh no, there we go. Let's get a screwdriver again. Good grief. Let's slack these back off. Gosh, that's so tight. What on earth's going on there? I'm just wondering, I've got these heads. I wonder if it might be worth just putting these on, just to see what happens. Pink. I don't know whether the magnet's the same, but it lines up. I say the magnet's the same. It's in the same, physically in the same place. But I wonder if this is the right head disc. So I wonder if this is actually the wrong head disc. Oh, don't want to do that too often. Oh, gosh. And that would cause this problem. Good grief. Because the thing that slightly confuses me, it does look like a PG fault. Like the switching is in the wrong place. Or it's, I don't know, maybe 180 degrees out of phase or something. Well, I say that can't be because I'm getting some sort of picture. But yeah, that's loose now. Yeah, notice I made sure the chips were away from that spring. Great way to knock your heads off. But there's that head disc. Pink. And this is for an F1. They're exactly the same. And I am confident that that is wrong. Maybe. I think somebody's put F1 heads on. And I hope that might work. I'm also doubting if it's even the right way. A is usually white, isn't it? I'm really starting to wonder now what's going on with this machine. I think somebody in desperation has changed the heads for an F1, thinking that would work, and of course it hasn't. Okay, so that's so confusing. I actually inadvertently put the old heads back on. I've been playing musical heads, trying to find a head disc, and obviously that one drum was incorrect. So I looked at F1 heads and I just managed to put the old heads back into stock, which was, yeah, I just got really confused. But unfortunately, when I put this on and it wasn't sitting properly, I didn't actually notice, and I've knocked one of the head chips off. Can't believe I did that, but it was just so odd that it just hadn't quite sat properly because of this tight hub. So those heads are right off anyway, but I don't think they were salvageable anyway, so not the end of the world. But these F1 heads, they look absolutely identical in every way, and I'm going to take a risk and to see if they do work. But so far, I mean, that's the only thing, is the magnet. I didn't check that. Might have been an idea, but I think they are the same. So put it back together, see what happens. Well, those F1 heads work. They're absolutely fine. They were very clogged. I should have really soaked them first. And I will just put the outputs of it in the top corner as usual. And tracking is really a bit all over the place. So yeah, but the reason for that, it does look like there's a head switching line, but it's not. It's just maladjustment, because someone's been in here with a screwdriver, and I know that because if I go on this guide here and just put the lightest amount of pressure on, it moves, and that's always a good sign that someone's been in there fiddling. The varnish is fairly stiff, to be honest. I don't know whether the others are similar. That one seems alright. Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually find a proper tool for that, but it seems okay. It doesn't seem as if, although it is curling the tape slightly at the top there, so I might have to look at that. But all of these, well, I say all of these two, here and here, are definitely played with. Usually this will move really easy if it's been played with, but it hasn't. You can actually see the varnish on that one. So yeah, so I'll have to align it, which I may well cover in another video. I'm probably going to leave this one now. Just let this play, but well, what a strange one, and learned quite a bit about the head. So yeah, certainly been interesting, like I say, with the heads as well. And it's interesting that the F30 heads, when you look at the official listings, literally the F30 heads only fit the F30, but they're exactly, or appear to be exactly the same as the F1. Be interested to hear your comments on that down below. Yeah, just let me know. But yeah, so that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Bit of a funny one, and yeah, see you in another video. Bye for now.